Welcome to Breaking News to Trading Moves. Today we're looking at a partnership between two tech giants, Apple and Google.
That's right. And we're going to examine the immediate market perception, who stands to benefit, and who might face some new challenges.
The analysis we're looking at is titled The Silicon Alliance, Apple and Google's AI Distribution Deal.
Our goal here is to get a quick grasp of the implications based on what market watchers are saying.
Okay, let's start with the headline itself. Apple and Google have signed a multi-year AI deal. What does that actually mean for the two companies?
So at its heart, the agreement is about integration. We're talking about Google's Gemini AI models.
And their cloud technology.
Right, and all of that is going to be built directly into Apple's next generation of what they call their Apple Foundation models.
So on the user side, what will this actually power?
Well, the plan is for this technology to drive a more personalized Siri and other new features under the banner of Apple Intelligence.
And when do we expect to see this roll out?
The timeline points to later in 2026.
It's also worth noting, and the material mentions this, that ChatGPT will still be an option.
Yes, an opt-in option for users who have, let's say, more complex queries. Gemini becomes the core, but there's still a choice.
So that brings us to why the market reacted the way it did. The analysis brings up this concept that distribution is the moat. Can you explain that?
I can. A moat is just a competitive advantage. And putting a flagship AI model, in this case Gemini, directly onto the iPhone.
And into the whole Apple ecosystem.
Exactly. That has some critical market consequences. It affects who wins the consumer AI platform race, and it also dictates where the spending on inference goes.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Inference spending, what is that?
Inference is basically the cost of running the AI model every time you ask it a question.
So not the training, but the actual day-to-day use.
Precisely. And that determines which hardware and infrastructure providers get all of that resulting workload.
Got it. Okay, let's move on to the market winners identified in the analysis. There are three main categories here.
And the first is the most direct: consumer AI platforms and the ecosystem leaders themselves.
This group gains from the massive scale of the distribution, right?
It does. Gemini's presence across all of Apple's devices strengthens Google's competitive position in consumer AI almost overnight.
And for Apple, they get to improve Siri and Apple Intelligence much faster by using a proven model.
Which helps support hardware upgrades and, ecosystem stickiness.
The names highlighted here are, of course, Alphabet Inc.
Ticker GOGL.
and Apple Inc., ticker AAPL.
Okay, let's move to the second category of winners: AI compute and networking hardware.
This is all about the infrastructure needed to support these new features. A more capable Siri is just going to drive much higher inference demand.
Which means bigger data center build-outs.
You got it. And that demand supports the companies making GPUs, AI accelerators, and high-speed networking gear.
The analysis names a few key players here.
Yes, NVIDIA Corporation, ticker NVD.
Broadcom Inc., ticker AVGO.
And Arista Networks, Inc., ticker ANET. They provide the core components for these AI workloads. Which leads us to the third category of winners, the data center and colocation beneficiaries.
The picks and shovels layer, as it's sometimes called.
Right. As AI scales, you just need more physical space, more power, more cooling.
That's it. Even with privacy focused on device processing, the analysis states that more AI usage just generally requires more compute somewhere.
So this supports the real estate side of the tech world.
It does. The beneficiaries listed are Equinix Inc., ticker EQIX, and Digital Realty Trust Inc., ticker DLR.
Now let's get to the other side of the equation, the identified market losers. This is where competitive pressure is expected to build.
The first category here is competing AI platforms that were fighting for that default distribution spot.
So if Gemini is the main engine for Siri's upgrade, it makes it much harder for rival models to get a foothold in the Apple ecosystem.
That's the idea. It raises the bar for any rival assistants to capture consumer mindshare. The default option is powerful.
The analysis mentions a few big names here.
It does. Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, Amazon.com, Inc., ticker AMZN, and Meta Platforms, Inc., ticker Meta.
Okay, what's the next category of companies facing pressure?
That would be the voice assistant and speech AI specialists.
Because if Siri takes a major step forward, the need for a third-party voice assistant might go down.
Potentially, yes. It could put pressure on their pricing and existing partnerships, especially if the new Siri becomes good enough for most common use cases.
Who falls into this group?
The companies named here are SoundHound AI, Inc., ticker SOUN, and Cerence Inc., ticker CRNC.
All right, and the final category of losers is a little less direct. Independent ad tech exposed to big tech leverage.
Yeah, this one is about platform power.
Yeah.
A stronger relationship between Apple and Google can reinforce the data advantages they already have.
At the operating system level.
Exactly. And this dynamic just increases the competitive pressure on independent companies operating in digital advertising.
So the companies listed here?
The final two are The Trade Desk, Inc., ticker TTD, and Magnite, Inc., ticker MGNI.
So this one partnership decision seems to send waves across the market, from the AI models themselves down to the physical infrastructure.
It really highlights the power of ecosystem control. Even when the core tech is sourced externally, controlling the distribution channel is identified as the ultimate source of leverage.
A clear picture of how the market is viewing this alliance.
Please remember that the information presented here is based purely on the analysis provided by the author of the material we discussed. This is not financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy or sell any security. We encourage you to conduct your own research.
Thank you for joining us for this analysis of where the market sees the momentum heading after this major partnership announcement.